Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is the big one. I've been waiting a long time to dive this place, and so has Arian, so sit down with a beer or a cup of tea and enjoy. We have arrived at the slip, and this is probably one of the nicest slips I've ever seen. First time I've been here, definitely the first time Arian's been here. However, it's a very small slip, so we're gonna get it in now before before we lose any more water, basically, and then we'll have some food and get the boat ready and head out. Weather's calming down the whole time, so this could be game on. So we've just got a nice delivery from Spearfishing UK. I'm currently putting new 14mm bands on my WT110, which is my New Zealand gun. It's carbon, nice and light in the water. Got thinner spear, so the 14mm bands still give it a good punch, and they're also nice and easy to pull back. I've shot my kingfish and stuff with this in New Zealand, and I love it to bits, to be honest. So I'm going to take this out, and Purple Rain as well, which you've seen before as the Rob Allen roller. 110 as well, and that needs a big fish on it.
Do you want me to do it, mate? That was a struggle.
Yeah, but big power, you see, big power.
Can you imagine those were 16s? You never would have got them in there.
Well, we finally got our wetsuits on. Bit of bad news, Arian's lost or forgot his cases for his cameras, but between us we can still film a lot. Thundercats are ready to go, weather's looking good, we're all lubed up in our wetsuits, so let's get out there. I don't know if you can hear me, in a minute we're surrounded by puffins. Before we even got our heads in the water, this place was amazing. The amount of bird life and everything like that was just insane. There's flocks and flocks of gannets above us and puffins everywhere. The gannets were swooping down and having a look. It was just amazing. So first dive, we hit tide pretty hard, so we're gonna move. We didn't see any fish anyway, so we're gonna move quickly and find somewhere else. Yeah. Muckle Flugga. So I'm gonna go pick him up. Holy shit, boy! Is there more? Right, now I'm gonna go anchor up because Arian's just started getting into the fish. It's on! So I've managed to roughly get in the same position Arian was. Definitely not the exact same spot. The tide was pushing us everywhere. I get straight down and I tuck myself into the kelp. You can see the tide pulling on it here, and I'm just holding on with one hand. I slowly take a look to my right, let a couple of grunts out because I just can't help myself, and in the distance I see a shadow, and then eventually I see how big the shadow is. It gets a little bit closer and I see the size of the head and the girth of the body. There's no way I was not going to pull the trigger on this. I aim up and I struggle to get the gun round in the tide, but thankfully I get the spear in, but it's not the best of shots, so I'm gently pulling it back up through the kelp, and I'm just easing it to the surface, not putting any pressure on that flopper or the belly of the fish. Now before the fish even hits the surface, as I'm gently pulling it up, it's obviously not quite dead yet because I've got it through the belly, so I have the knife ready, and as soon as I get it in my hands, did put up a little bit of a fight, I got the knife in and I put it out of its misery. Now the second thing I'm going to do is bleed this fish straight away. Now Arian's very hot on this, always make sure I bleed the fish and make sure he bleeds the fish. It does help with the meat quality.
Yeah, there you go. That's a decent pollock, that's got to be getting on towards 10 pounds there. Make sure you bleed them but don't gut them. We'll get some weight.
If you want another idea on how strong that tide was, take a look at the back of the boat and it looks like there's a river coming underneath it.
Oh yeah. Oh. Everybody said it couldn't be done.
They said it shouldn't be done most of the point. No, it should be done.
It shouldn't be done. We did it. We're doing it. So basically we've managed to get some pretty badass fish, but the tide is absolutely nailing us. We're right on the edge of it here and it's just so much effort. We're burning up in our wetsuits trying to stay on the spot, so we're gonna go have an explore, maybe some other spots. We even might go have for a fish whilst we calm down a bit. Yeah,
bring your heart rate back down to normal.
Yeah, trying to
keep it hard.
Too much tide basically, just burning up. So yeah, we'll go for a look and see what we find. So we headed out to the deeper waters, and Arian, being the veteran fisherman and fished up here before, he was straight over the side with a rod, and it wasn't long before he was on and brought up a beautiful cod. It's perfect size, so we decided we're going to take that for the table. However, it wasn't long before we were getting swept into the tide between the Outstack and Flugga the island, and Arian is starting to get a little bit nervous. He's definitely getting a good run for his first time on the Thundercat.
You did go in the west coast.
Yep.
This is just insane.
They said it shouldn't be done, they didn't say it couldn't be done. We're getting close to the tides.
Right. Okay. As soon as this fish is in, this boat's getting started. You winning?
Shit.
ling. That is. Right, gently does it. Ease us round. Okay, hold that up. Hold it up.
This is what we want to be shooting.
Right, my turn.
So, we were just in that crazy swell, or headed towards the crazy tide over there, which you can maybe see the swell in the background, because I had that ling rod, and we managed to just get it up in time before we went off. We had to hammer it back into some semi-calm conditions. Now it has glassed off, but it's just the tide is ripping this up to 3 meter swell or more. Like, it's just ridiculous. The GoPro doesn't do it justice. But it's Arian's time now for the big fish. So we've just moored up and we're going to try and get onto Muckle Flugga, maybe put the drone up as well. I don't know, there's a lot of birds about, and explore. We've got a lot of steps to go as well and try and swim ashore with all the electronics. That's why I've got a dry bag. So we are on Muckle Flugga. We can't get on the outstack because it's just too rough out there. The boat is behind us, moored up safely. It's got about 2 or 3 big dog seals around it, so we're hoping they don't get our fish. But this is seriously cool. You can see all the old foundations of all the old steps and everything like that. So let's get up there and have a look at the lighthouse.
Set us up for deep diving later on.
Taking the workout. So there's a whole load of bird life here. This hill is littered with puffins. They're actually not too bothered by us. They're kind of just sitting looking like what these idiots doing, climbing the rock. But nevertheless, we're going to give them space and film them at distance, basically. This is just crazy. Imagine building this here. I'm knackered and we're not even halfway up. There's just puffins everywhere. Which don't seem too bothered again, which is nice. I'm cooking in my wetsuit. But we did it. We're up to the top. Well, we've made it. Pretty much 3 years we've been talking about coming here. You've been wanting to come back here since you were fishing 4 years ago. And I'd say we've done it.
We have done it.
This is a hell of a sight.
We
Right, well, it's absolutely cooking up here. We've put the drone up and stuff. We've had a look at some more marks, so we're going to go try them, and it's glassing off even more. And we also need to make camp later on tonight as well. I wonder what we'll have to eat.
Venison.
Oh, we bought some deer, that's fine.
Yeah. We'll go with the venison and we'll eat the fish tomorrow. Fish for breakfast.
Now this is the tricky part. Getting back to the boat with the drone on top of your head without putting it in the water. Oh yeah. So we're pretty shattered, so we are going to head in now. We've done another bit of run line fishing and we're getting some, well, they're decent sized fish still, but we're knackered. So we're heading in. So we are back on dry land. As you can see, we can't get the boat out yet. However, it's been a pretty awesome day's diving. We didn't think we'd maybe get to do it, but we've done it. And we've got some good fish to show for it. Got my pollock, this one here. And the ling, which I caught on the rod and line. So I'm pretty stoked by that. That's definitely probably my personal best ling, pollock, sorry. And that's also my personal best ling, but that was caught on rod and line, so. And Arian also smashed it with the first pollock of the day with a monster and a smashing cod. I don't know if you're going to see much of the rest of this episode or if I put it in the next one, because we're absolutely shattered and we need food and we also need to get the boat out of the water.
We are fading fast.
So I hope you like this episode, because this has been a long time in the making and this is probably the only day we're going to get to dive up here. So it's been worth it for us. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and we will see you on the next episode. I'd just like to do a big shout out to my sponsors at Spearfishing UK for hooking me up with all the best gear, getting it to me on time, and all the ridiculous things that I ask. I'd also like to thank the boys up in Unst and all the locals for the insider knowledge and everything about getting to Muckle Flugga, helping me keep safe. It's a dangerous, gnarly place, and I pulled it off thanks to all this help. I'd also like to thank you guys for the support, liking, sharing, subscribing. It means an awful lot to me, and it gives me the urge to just keep on doing this. And I've just hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, and that means so much. So thanks, and there's plenty more to come, so stay tuned.